Hey everybody, welcome to another review. This afternoon I'm going to be testing out let me turn on my, okay. I'm going to be testing out the new AVG 2013 beta. Went on the website, joined the beta, got a copy, and let's check it out here. First, now I know this is a beta, so these numbers definitely can change, but let's just see what we got here. There is a ton of processes. I think I count 9? No, 10, I'm sorry. But even then, it's not very high in memory usage. Maybe 20 megs, 22 megs, something like that. So it's not that bad, but it's got, we got here? Configuration management, email scanner, firewall, identity protection, online shield, resident shield, scanning, part 1, or server part, user interface, and watchdog service. So a bunch of different processes associated with it. And there's also this toolbar down here, I guess, that comes with it. So let's open up the user interface, and you can see that it's definitely changed a lot. Once again, they're getting ready for Windows 8. So you got the big Metro type buttons. So you have computer security, web browsing, identity, emails, firewall. You have update now, scan now, fix performance. If you click on any of these, it'll take you to different panels. So you have anti-rootkit. You can click on that and that'll take you to settings. Of course, I'm not going to change any of these settings. You can enable, disable the antivirus. You can go to the settings for the antivirus. Web browsing, identity protection, emails, and the firewall. Everything is pretty much just like it is stock. The one thing that I am going to change, I didn't want to scan now, just to give everything a fair chance, is I saw that when I'm going to do the full scan, I'm going to turn on report enhanced set of potentially unwanted programs. That's about the only thing. Don't know what this thorough scanning does. Probably opens up zip files and things like that. And you can click on additional settings too. What do you want it to happen? So scan infectable files only, scan all file types. You know, I don't think this is a good idea, the way they have this, because as some of you read or not, Flame, the big virus that was found, had a component in there to know that if you were running a security suite, it knew that that suite, if it had something like this, it would turn its files into a file extension that your security suite would not scan. So I know one of the examples was McAfee doesn't scan temp files, .tmp, and it knew that if it saw that you had McAfee in there, it would turn most of its files into .tmp files, and McAfee would completely ignore it. So something like this, yes, is a performance improvement, but it's also a huge security issue. So I always believe that. Just scan all of them. So we'll turn that on. We'll turn that on. This is just for the scan. This is not for the real time. I just want to see how the scanner works. I'm sorry, this is scan inside archives. I'm not sure what this does. We'll turn that on too. Seeing as this is a beta, I'm just going to play with the settings a little bit, but in the final test, I'm going to leave it just like it is. Alright, so we save those settings. Anyway, now that we kind of took a quick look at the program, I don't want to go into too much detail. I'm not the type of person that will go into a huge amount of detail in a program. If you want to see and be really granular, download a copy for yourself and play with it. I'm here to test to see how it works. we got our links here from today. You can see that there's a toolbar from AVG is installed. Everything's good. Alright, let's go with the first one here. I think this is some kind of adware, not 100% sure. Yeah, I think it installs some kind of adware. We'll see. Alright, that kind of failed to run because I don't have some C++ libraries installed. But it didn't find anything. That's a very, very new program. Very low detection on that one, I know. I looked it up. Okay, I definitely know that this one is adware. Yeah, you can see that this media get always installs some kind of adware along with an actual program that you wanted. It's a DLL. Actually, I think the best thing, this is part of some malware. I think we're just going to save it to the desktop here. Looks like that one is dead. Yeah, you can see this one's definitely trying to install a bunch of adware in the background. We'll let that run. That file is dead, that zip file. Nah, it's the same thing, just packaged in on a different link. It's just a redirect. I thought it was going to be something more. I thought it was going to serve an exploit or something, but I guess not. Same thing with this one. Oh, that's kind of disappointing. Kind of some junky links today. Alright, this is downloading something huge. That's 200 megs. I'm not gonna wait for that. I don't know what it is, but not gonna happen. Alright, so seeing as those links were kind of a bust today, I'm gonna temporarily disable for 5 minutes. That should give me just enough time to check to make sure that it disabled Windows Defender. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to unpack this malware here and do a context scan. So I'll be back with the results when this is done. Alright, so I was doing the scan here and it needs some improvement. One is that it's identifying infections, but it's so slow at doing it that I'm getting these weird windows. And another thing is, when you're running a scan, this thing actually lets you start up multiple scans. I didn't do it on purpose, I just did it on accident while I was trying to figure out how to see the scan. It let me start like 3 whole computer scans at the same time, which should not be allowed, period. If I'm running one scan, context scan, quick scan, whatever, don't let it start another scan. At least don't let the user start another one, because it's gonna kill the computer. You can see everything's like the CPU's not going real hard right now, but the hard drive is going nuts. You can see what's happening right now. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. They haven't been able to handle the multiple scans. So I'm just going to force a reset here because I don't have time to wait for it to make up its mind. I'm just going to do a scan again, and this time I'm going to be careful not to start 2. Alright guys, so this thing's been sitting here. It supposedly detected some things in the context scan, but it's just like dying. It's just been flopping back and forth here, and it's locked up. So this is definitely an issue in this beta. It's like horrible. So once again, I'm going to try to force a restart here, and this time I'm just gonna open the folder with malware and let it identify each one, because just doing a scan ain't gonna work. So I'll be back. Alright, so I did a detection, or a context scan, and this is kind of weird. It says it detected. Jesus, I can't talk anymore. 1,408 potentially dangerous threats. But the problem is, now they're popping up. They weren't popping up before. So I was kind of confused as to why. So we're going to remove all of these. And I'll be back whenever it's done. Hopefully it won't take too long. Alright, so finally it removed everything. I had to force another restart because it got stuck. They definitely needed to improve the scanning speed and stability because it is horrible right now. At least it hasn't blue screened yet, which is amazing. But the scanning took me like an hour. Anyway, now that that's said and done and over with, let's see how it reacts to malware that it doesn't have a signature for. It wants me to scan the whole computer. I'll do that later. So let's do 10. Let's see. So okay, first let's see what it actually found. Its detection actually seems really good. So we do yeah, 86.2%. It's not bad for detection. But now let's see how it handles unknown malware. will run 10 that actually run. Looks like that one's gonna run. That's 1. This is 2. This is AdAware. 3. Okay, looks like it blocked, AVG blocked something, but I don't know what this window's doing out here floating. Middle of nowhere. That's kind of weird. That's probably, once again, has to do with how they have to implement the Metra style, I can bet. So you can see alerts when you're in the Metra. Alright, this is another AdAware thing. Okay, so it looks like it detected that one. Description unknown. Let's see, infected, blah blah blah, medium, identity protection. Alright, bunch of junk. Let's try this one. Oh, casino. See what happens there. Now that one looks dead. And Java wants an update. Let's try whatever this is. And download failed on that one. Maybe I hit the wrong button. Yeah. Alright, so Trojan host dropper. That one got identified. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so they both got identified. Cannot remove. Other action has been already performed. Okay, reboot is required. Okay, sure. We'll restart now. I think we ran enough of them to call it a good 0-day check. So, let me pause, and I'll be back after this is done restarting. Alright, so it says that it found 50 potentially dangerous threats. All were removed, and I am now safe again. I'm trying to click on this thing to see what it is, but it's not doing anything. It's annoying. Come on. Whatever. Alright, so what did it find here? Looks identified some more stuff on the desktop, apparently. Okay, well that was kind of annoying. So 230 now. And it identified one thing. Babylon Toolbar. I think everything else is from the desktop. Well, the reason it identified these, now I know, is because I turned down that detect potentially unwanted programs. And that is not turned on when you do a right click and when you do a context or shell scan, whatever you want to call it. So that's just because of what I turned on in the full complete scan. Alright, so 88%. Now, let's delete this. Let's delete this. Empty the recycle bin. Run CCleaner one more time, even though I already ran it. And now I'm going to turn off the protection until restart. That's not going to help me because the second I try to use CCleaner, it's going to pop up again. But we'll check to see if we have any malicious processes active in memory. I know this is a malicious process, so I already know one thing. Or a malicious program, however you want to look at it. Alright, we have nothing running in RAM. Nothing's been changed. So now I'm just going to run a full scan with cleaning essentials. And see application, blah 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 blah. Save my decision, yeah. And then I'll be back with the results. Alright, so cleaning essentials identified some files here. I can already see that there is a false positive right here, part of the Komodo, or part of the AVG common installer. So I'm going to report that. Part of that safe search thing, common installer.exe. Well, I know when I see a suspicious, I have to look at it even closer, because that means it was identified by computers. And suspicious, to me, I always have to look a lot closer. And other than that, I see malware, 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 application unwanted, application unwanted. This is media get 2, media get 2. So this identified a whole program. So we're gonna remove all these, and it's probably gonna ask me to restart, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna move on to Malwarebytes. So I'll do a scan with that, and I'll be back. Alright, so Malwarebytes finished scanning, and it found 98 things in here. 98 infections. So what do we got here? We got, let me sort these. We got adware, gameplay lab. Bunch of stuff. Files, folders, blah blah blah. Adware, gameplay labs. Adware. Hijack trace. And another trace. Dat file, Internet Explorer. This is that one on the desktop, I think. And we have possibly unwanted program, casino, crossfire, fun moods, and gameplay lab, and Trojan. There we go. That's that DL that it didn't identify. And there's another Trojan downloader in program files. So we're gonna check all of them, remove them, and then last but not least, we're gonna do a scan with Hitman Pro, and we'll see if that identifies anything. So I'll be right back. Alright, and last but not least, Hitman Pro found a bunch of stuff too. Adware.clickpotato, that's that one again, which is program files, price peep. What else we got here? Adware, I want this, and a possible infection here in C program files, video converter. Let's just upload this to virus total, and let's just see how, if anybody else identifies this other than Dr. Webb. So I'll be right back. Alright, so finished scanning here, and looks like 3 identified. Byte Hero, Heuristics, Dr. Webb, Adware FoxTab 2, and Node 32, a variant of Install Core. So it does look like this is some form of malware. So final conclusion on the beta version. While its signatures did a good job, and it will improve stability, will improve, and scanning speed will improve, I still don't see much of a 0-day component. And without that, in today's world, you lose. It's as simple as that. You saw there was lots of adware, there were some Trojans, a decent amount of infections happening. A lot of these antivirus vendors have to realize that you need to do something about 0-day. There's no way to get around it. I don't care how good your signatures are. There's thousands upon thousands of new malware coming out per day. Nobody can keep up with that. So I think it's time for them to, some of these companies, to reanalyze how they do their, build their programs and start including 0-day components, sandboxes, hips, virtualizing, things like that need to be in a program today to be considered a decent security program. Signatures are great and all, but by the time a signature is created, it really doesn't ever catch anything. And yeah, generic signatures and heuristics and all that, they'll catch some. But from my experience, maybe 60% is what they'll catch. So there's still 40% out there left to infect you. So that's it for this review. I'll review the final version whenever that comes out. Somebody probably remind me about it, because I won't remember. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to everybody later.